What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 99. We're starting today's episode by seeing Keane just bruised his shoulder in the win over Fiorentina, thank goodness for that. And also transfer deadline day arriving as well. What a start for Milan this season. Already 2 Super Cups in the cabinet. We've already won more honours in the first month of the new season than we did in the entirety of last season. Obviously they're minor honours, but still. With deadline day coming around as well, £100 million to work with. I had no plans to sell or loan anyone out. I was totally fine with my squad. However, I really wanted Nicola Rovella. Now, I've been going for this guy since the start of last season, and David Moyes is just in love with the young Italian. 25 years old, 87 rated central midfielder. Now, previously our negotiations, which have gone back and forth for a long time, including swap deals, he just wouldn't listen to anything under 100 mil. But this time he said, you know what, it's a lot of money, fair enough. 95 mil was the fee we agreed with David Moyes, plus, to be fair, a 7% sell-on clause, which is probably the reason why we didn't have to spend over £100 million. I think if I didn't include the sell-on clause, I might not have been able to have afforded him, as we only had £100 million in our budget. I say only £100 million in our budget, but Rovella signs, it's a 5-year deal, 110 grand a week, and Nicolo returns to his native Italy. Moving on from Empoli to Genoa to West Ham. As you can see, the guy's got incredible stats, but the main stat that I'm most excited about is, of course, the 95 stamina. You know, stamina to me, I think more and more in FIFA nowadays is just so integral. In the more arcade days of FIFA, you used to just be able to hold the right trigger down all game long. It wasn't really too detrimental to your players, even in late game situations. But now, I really feel that having players of high energy is just so important. So as Rovella comes in, as you can see, I think I will replace Yuri Tielemans in our side, because Sandro Tonali is an anchor man and a defence midfielder in his team. He's so good. He really helps protect the back line a lot, and the player alongside him is, you know, give him a bit more freedom to go forward and get involved in the attacks, like Tielemans and Goretzka of last season. But yeah, to me, I think this is a great signing at £95 million, because again, he's the one I really wanted, and at 87 rated, 25 years old, he's still going to get better. He's still going to get better. So you might sit there and think, well, Goretzka is a rating higher, Tielemans is a rating higher, but at 25 years old, he's 5 years younger than Yuri, who's now 30, 7 years younger than Leon, who we sold to Bayern Munich as well. I gotta say, I'm very happy with him as we did in this summer window. So it was a crazy window for AC Milan in the end, spending just over £200 million. However, we also raised over £100 million for the sales as well. So it wasn't exactly like we broke the bank and completely obliterated the bank balance this season. We worked with what we had, and I thought we did a really good job of that. Tapsoba coming in, really going to improve our back line, no doubt about that, as an 88 rated centre-half. We've got the regen of Messi, the regen of Salah, Ricky's come in for the bench as well, and of course, now getting Rovella to play alongside Sandro Tonali, a couple of good Italians for our core as well. I'm really happy with this. I was sad to sell Maya. I didn't want to let him go, but I think with 1 year left on his deal, it's probably the right thing to do to cash in. Leon Goretzka is a leader. He did a good job last season, but like I said, his future was never really settled here. When you look at the players coming in, again, some great bargains on free transfers. None better than Messi's regen, but Tapsoba, Rovella, and Ricky as well. Those 3 signings right there, to me, they were all good value for money deals. Maybe a little bit of an overspend on Ricky, but for a bench central midfielder, I'm not too disheartened by how much we paid in the end. So I want to show you Brentford's team, by the way, before we moved on real briefly. I want to show you Brentford's team at the end of every transfer window, at least at the every single summer transfer window. They've sold a couple more players. Wilfred Ndidi's gone to Old Trafford. Onyeka has left as well. You might notice, though, who they've got up top now, Hlozek, the Czech striker they signed last year, but also you might have seen it on transfer deadline day, Raspadori. Oh my goodness, wouldn't mind him with my Milan side. 27 years old, 87 rated. If you've not used Raspadori in this year's FIFA, guys, he is about as clinical as it gets. I mean, as a striker, he is just so lethal of putting the ball in the back of the net, which is, of course, a striker's main role. So, yeah, he's brilliant on this game. So, Brentford is going to score a lot of goals this season, with Hlozek and Raspadori replacing the old duo of Tony and Gutierrez. Still, look at our fixtures for September. As you can see, we've got Lazio, finished 3rd place last season, Venezia, Spezia, and Udinese as well, plus the first 2 Champions League games at home to Spurs and away in Turkey against Başakşehir as well. well. So a couple of difficult fixtures here in September after a great start to the season. Again, winning those 2 Super Cups in dramatic fashion. Both 3-2 victories in extra time over PSG in the Super Cup and Inter in the Super Coppa as well. What I want is to continue this really good start. Last season, I mentioned it, we kind of stumbled out of the blocks a little bit in our first few games with Milan, which to be fair was to be expected. Joining a new team, totally new play style, totally new country. I wasn't expecting to get off to a red hot start, but the only problem with that is that Inter Milan did. Inter were unbeaten. I think their first, I don't know, 16, 17 games, something like that. It took a while before they finally tasted defeat. And of course, they just got a lead on us of 8, 9 points so early on. And once they got away, well, we mentioned it, we never caught up. We had one chance to catch up to them all season long. That was in the Milan derby. Lost it, and after that, it was game over. No one was going to catch Simone Inzaghi's side, so we can't make the same mistakes as last season. We need a much better start. We cannot afford to watch Inter run away with it so early like they did last season. So yeah, taking on Lazio, we would take the lead in the game, and then a golden chance to make it 2:29 minutes, seeing Gutierrez smacking the crossbar after Timmermans gave us the lead. But it was all Milan in the early stages, and like I said before, we brought in Tapsoba to this team. I think he's going to really improve our defense after last season. It was a little bit leaky, but what we do know for sure is that we're at our best, not when we're conserving energy and just looking to play watertight defense, lockdown defense, and just hold on to a clean sheet, but instead go all out attack. That is our best play style, and after Roberto Gutierrez got yet another goal, his 6th of the season in 2.5 games. Yeah, we were putting the sword to Lazio early on, and I think that's one thing as well you should really look into as well. When you find a strength in your play style, keep doing it. I think it's so interesting because, again, I listened to a podcast called the High Performance Podcast. I mentioned it before, and there are many times where, the athletes that are on there, or the entrepreneurs or whoever else, they'll often talk about, wanting to improve your weaknesses and wanting to make sure you can turn your weaknesses and your negatives into positives and strength. And I'm totally in agreement with that. But I can't remember what guest it was who talked about, remembering what got you into the room in the first place, the strengths that got you to where you are in the first place. And I think it's kind of true in all walks of life, really, including, as bizarre as it sounds, in FIFA as well. Once you find your strength, yeah, of course, focus on your weakness and try and improve it and turn those negatives into positives, but don't forget what's made you successful, or don't forget what's made you good at the game in the first place. To me, in this year's FIFA, it's not defense, it's attack. It's totally switched. In older versions of FIFA, I might not have scored many goals, but I was very good at defending, but nowadays it's more about being all out attack and just trying to get as many goals as possible. So it's another 4-0 victory after Schneider came off the bench again. Julius Super Sub Schneider with his clutch in the Super Cups, but even so, 4-0 victory there over Lazio. And again, I've got to say, whilst it isn't going to be our main strength this season, it's nice to know things have started off a little bit better on defence. 3 straight wins, 3 straight 4-0s, 3 straight clean sheets, and for Tapsoba as well. Well, we talked about those bargain buys in the summer. None better than Messi's regen, you'd say. However, £60 million for 88 rated, 28-year-old Tapsoba. PSG are one of the richest clubs in the world. I still can't get over that. What a cheap fee to get in the Burkina Faso centre-half. And already he's making a big difference to our back four. So, following game, looking to extend our winning run here and keep it going in all competitions with our first Champions League game with AC Milan. Last year, of course, winning the Europa League, going all the way to pick up the trophy. Now, our first game back in the big time with Milan. And you saw our group, Spurs, Benfica, Basel here. I would say we're probably favourites to win this one, but taking on Antonio Conte, Spurs, former Inter Milan boss, won the Serie A last season in real life, of course. I was expecting quite a challenge in this game here against Spurs, not going to lie, but already 90 minutes in we were leading through Elias Timmermans, who this season I'm predicting is going to have an absolute breakout season. Last year he was good, don't get me wrong, but this year I don't know why. I just think he's going to take his game to the next level, but it was still 1-0, and to be honest, I'm not even for Livakovic, it would have been 2-3 and up in the first half an hour. It was all AC Milan playing that all-out attack football, like I mentioned earlier, and 26 minutes in, as Tonali rolls through Timmermans, it's a great little through ball to pick out Roberto Gutierrez, and our captain with yet another goal, scoring in every single game to start the season off outside the Super Cups. Roberto last season, I mentioned it, he might have become the first player I've ever done this with in career mode before. Golden Boot winner in the league, Golden Boot winner in the Cup, Golden Boot winner in Europe. I don't think I've ever had a player do that before in any of my FIFA career mode saves. Roberto did it last year. What are the odds he could do it again? Well, he's off to a great start. 7 in the league and his first in the Champions League this season. Well, 2-0 AC Milan, and they'll aim to score in the first half. Callum Hudson-Odoi, former Chelsea man, scoring against what would have been one of his London rival Spurs. 37 minutes in, 3-0 AC Milan, and in complete control. And this is what we need to do. You know, start the season off much better. Last season we were shaky, stumbled out of the blocks a little bit, but this is much more like it, playing really, really attack-minded and aggressive football and showing no mercy whatsoever. We've also been great defensively. We've eliminated a lot of mistakes. And then 15 minutes remaining. Typical. First goal of the season conceded, and it comes in absolutely embarrassing, chaotic fashion. Danger? What danger? Mike receives the headed back pass from Fernandez. And I don't know, the camera's panned to Mike here, but is this Mike's fault or Kabak's fault? Well, I'll tell you whose fault it definitely is. It's mine. Just tried to roll the ball out to the feet of our Turkish centre-half and then play out from the back. For some reason, Mike just overhit the ball out, and then Kabak slipped when trying to play the pass. Spurs intercept, Thomas Lemar capitalises, and Conte's side grab a consolation. Doesn't matter, of course, but even so, I wanted to keep the clean sheet streak going and get one in our first game of the Champions League, and what a terrible way to concede and throw away the clean sheet. I don't know what happened there, but I think I've said it before and I would say it again. At the end of the day, keeping clean sheets and defending on this year's FIFA is quite hard. It's made even harder when I do stupid stuff like that. Even so, 100% start to the season for Milan, top of the tree, none conceded in the Serie A, and a winning start in the Champions League as well. It's been a perfect start for AC Milan. But that will end today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Massive thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you haven't, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode. It's episode 100. It's a special thank you. Please don't miss it, guys. Really hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you for it very soon.